High Court enforcement officers Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner are in Hertfordshire. They're carrying out a repossession order to evict a man from his home of 19 years.
Go, get out! Get out! No, I walked in, nobody said fuck on to me.
We would have spoken to you on the way in, sir, if you'd have asked us. We didn't know who you were. You are the owner of it. You are a resident of the property, are you?
I am.
Neil, a taxi driver, was made bankrupt by the Inland Revenue. He's accumulated debts of almost £30,000. He didn't know that High Court enforcement officers were coming today, but now both he and his wife will be made homeless.
The Inland Revenue is not the only people I owe money to. Yeah, I've got all the other bills that I have to contend with, like credit cards and all that, which sort of help me out, but I'm maxed out, so I'm paying them off as well.
As a bankrupt, Neil's assets are under the control of the official receiver. They've decided his house must be sold to cover his debts. It's up to Paul and Steve to bring about a swift eviction.
I'm not moving from this house. I'm not moving, no.
I understand all this is a shock to you, and if I have to, I will call the police and you'll be thrown out into the street. But I don't want to do that. I'm just giving you the extreme view.
It's less than an hour since the eviction began. Outside, the official receiver's representative is waiting for an update.
That's okay. Because what they're saying is they know nothing about this. It's all, you know, haven't got the paperwork, never received the judgment, tried to contact trustee and/or they've got an insolvency advisor who's been sorting all this out for them, all of which, of course, is water under the bridge as far as we're concerned, because we're here to repossess it.
Right.
So we, just as a normal practice, allowed 2 hours to let them get into gear, calm down, pack their stuff, collect up the pets, and make arrangements to go. If I'm not back out in half an hour, send in the attack dog.
The eviction can't be ignored any longer.
OK, but we still come back to the fact that you're going to have to leave today.
Well, I will leave sometime today.
No, I'm afraid...
I've got till midnight.
No.
Yes,
No,
today.
I'm sorry.
Today.
No, the warrant, we allowed 2 hours.
People are astounded that they've got so little time to move, because their immediate reaction is, how can they move a whole house in 2 hours?
Faced with the reality of eviction, Neil's become resigned to the fact that he has to leave. After nearly 2 decades in the house, they have just 2 hours to pack their personal possessions and go.
I'm getting evicted today. It's sickening. It's horrible. It's my whole world just feels like it's falling apart in front of me. And losing the house is going to break our hearts. Can you turn that around?
Yeah, that needs to be coached.
Sorry? Yeah, the coach, please. I've done 17 years in the roll call signals. It's funny I'm being kicked out on Armistice Day.
Neil was a sergeant in the Royal Signals Regiment, serving in Northern Ireland, the Falklands and the Gulf War.
I enjoyed my time in the army, and I know a lot of people will, but we do struggle when you've been stuck in an environment where the money you got at the end of the day was everything paid for.
I did feel sorry for the gentleman who we had to evict that day. He was a soldier, he served in the armed forces. He'd done, technically, his bit for the country, and this is how he got treated.
I understand these people have got a job to do, but to actually kick somebody out of a house...
Neil and his wife own a joint 30% share of their home. They pay rent for the other 70%, which is owned by a housing association.
Yeah.
They have kept up with their payments and have no arrears at all. It's his other debts that are making them homeless.
I don't care what people say about it. You're not earning big money like some of these people. You're just a general working person, yeah, who goes on day by day, earning what he can when he can.
Ready?
Yeah. I'm sorry it's come to this point, and I'm more sorry for my wife. This is what I've gone from running marathons to just 10 yards up the garden and 10 yards back down, carrying an empty freezer. This is staying in my house. I was diagnosed with pneumonia 5 years ago, and I haven't been working that much since, so money was tight anyway, so all my savings went on that.
The house will eventually be sold, but in the meantime, Neil will still need to pay the rent on the property. If he doesn't, the rent arrears will be added to his already huge debts.
Take care.
Okay.
I'm sorry we met like this, but
Yeah.
you take care, Mr. Smith. Okay.
Any possessions they can't take now have been stored with neighbours, who have also offered them a bed for the night. They will speak to the council about temporary accommodation tomorrow.
The support round here is great, and hopefully somebody will help us. And just anybody tells you you're hard in the army is true, but you still got your emotions to hit you at some point. And
Neil hopes he can mount a last-minute deal to allow them to get their property back. But for now, they are homeless. It's almost 1 month since taxi driver Neil and his wife were evicted from their home in Hertfordshire. He's still working hard to make ends meet. After visiting the local council, the couple moved into a small temporary bedsit, just a few miles from where they used to live.
this is the sitting room come bedroom. Yeah, this is the hotel room, as I come to call it, because if you go in any hotel, it doesn't look any different. You put dinner on the table and that's full, you sit down on the settee, that's full. It's very snug for 2 people. My partner's reaction was absolutely, she went spare at me, to say the least, yeah. Crying, angry, ready to kill me. Even now, sort of 4 weeks down the line, we're still very close to separating.
He's also had to say goodbye to his beloved dog.
We're not allowed any pets in the places, so they are with friends, and we try and get to see them as much as we can. Our pets are our family. Sorry, but if I can't have kids, then I've got to have pets. In a way, I can't wait to get out. We're always treading on each other's toes, yeah, because we're so used to having so much open space to walk round. Then I get up for work at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to keep quiet because somebody's asleep next to you. It was easy in the house before because we had another room where I could do all that without disturbing anybody.
In addition to the rent he has to pay for the bedsit, Neil is paying over £700 a month on the property from which he was evicted. He will keep on paying until a buyer is found.
Me and my wife own 30% of the house outright. Yeah, there's no mortgage payments. We pay rent for the other 70%. We're still paying that rent. It's like paying for 2 residents. Yeah? I wish I was that rich that I could afford to run 2 residents.
Neil's wish is to get his home back, and he's prepared to do all he can to make it happen.
I've had to take on extra hours at work. It's paid its toll. I've been ill for the last week. I've been off struggling. I'm just knocking myself out working, and I'm sort of so tired that there is nothing else now but sort of working and doing that, yeah.